2029 as a workforce strategy, as the ESG as a workforce strategy, as a factor of decision making of millennials, Generation Z, and Gen Alpha, who will account for 70% of the workforce by 2029.
Yeah.
Well, how do you see that impacting sustainability?
Oh yeah. Well, just look
and corporate reputation in the future.
Yeah. Well, you look at what our young folks have been going through now for the last 2 years. You see all the climate change that's going on in front of them. You know, you see the debate about the future of work that's unfolding right in front of them. You see what their views, their very vocal views about what they want to see in the world of work, what they don't want to see. So you kind of go, well, and I can already see it actually, if I look and I compare some of my leadership and management development work, you know, of maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago versus what leaders and managers are concerned with now. They're much more tuned into their more holistic role around people development, bringing people on, engagement, than maybe they were, 10, 15 years ago when it was about getting a strategy done, getting work done.
I was reading a DBI report recently from America, and it's one of the largest analysis of leadership for the future. And they say the leadership bench is really reducing, that people are suffering from burnout.
Yeah.
But in another report I read, they interviewed the Generation Z, etc., asking what do they want in the future. They wanted to be listened to. They wanted more education on emotional intelligence. And they wanted part of the decision-making process.
Yeah, and it's almost like Dan Pink talks about the mastery, autonomy, and purpose. You can see those issues coming up all the time. It was interesting in my work as well on personal agility. In the research, what came through were things like qualities like learning mindset, resilience, change orientation, collaboration, relationship management, handling conflict, diversity, teamwork skills, things that you might expect came through. But one of the underlying driving qualities that came through was what we call purposefulness. In other words, when we looked at examples of individuals who were displaying personal agility, what each of those individual cases, they were being driven by an inner sense of kind of purpose and meaning and assurance about what they were about.
Yes.
What they were looking to do, the impact that they were trying to make within the sphere of influence that they had at that time, within that job, that role, that organization. They were thriving on that. They were tuned into that. They were looking to base all their day-to-day work against a higher purpose.
Higher principle. Yeah, a higher principle.
Yeah.
But isn't it so important in terms of the organization that these people are given the space to make their mark?
Think about that. Yeah.
A lot of people would decry the fact that they're not given space to grow with their talent and to use their talent in the workplace. And there's a great loss in that, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And it was like this space or this sense making that they had made and this self-leadership, if you like, that they had, gave them a fuel, gave them a driving force then, if you like, or even a compass as well, to deal with things like adversity, to deal with change, to deal with just unexpected things that pop up. Because they were quite purposeful, they were able to use those other skills like learning and collaboration. But the company, the organization that they had, and we talk about an individual domain and a social domain, and the idea that, okay, to be purposeful, to be mindful, deliberate about what I'm doing, requires an environment where that is encouraged and developed and okay, if you like, rather than, forget your purpose and what you want to do, just get the job done. Okay, like I get the message. So individuals take their cue from their leaders, their managers, the culture, and that's why I think leaders are beginning to tune in much, much more to the fact that they are the owners, custodians, and shapers of the culture in which people operate.
They say the culture of the workplace doesn't rise above the vision of the leader.
No, it does, and I think leaders are understanding that it's a deliberate strategy. It's a very deliberate, conscious thing. Culture might be a few years ago might have been seen as, well, it's either there or it isn't, or whatever. You know, it is what it is.
Yes.
Whereas I think now leaders are saying, actually, it's on us, this culture thing.
Absolutely.
And how do we make it a deliberate execution mechanism of our strategy? So in other words, not just for the goodness of individuals and their development, but actually from the strategy and from the business and performance perspective, it's in our interests too, to shape culture and to create this environment where people can do their best work.